And it's almost 7, and it looks like it's light outside, but it's pitch black. It is so dark. And I just was like, man, is this always when it was daylight savings? I don't even know when daylight savings is. I feel so weird about everything. Like the Mandela effects. Like I don't look at them anymore, know which is which. It's like, fuck, I don't know. I don't know. It was Chick-fil-A or Chick-fil-A. I don't fucking know. Does it even fucking matter? And I do know though that King Tut, he only had one snake on his head. He didn't have two things. I mean, I was really obsessed with that guy when I was a kid. So I know that one for sure. I remember that one. But, and some of the ones like Mirror, Mirror on the Wall, some of them I remember, but there's so many that is just like, oh, fuck, I don't know. This is like, is this just a bunch of realities just merging in? Is it all, it is like our own consciousness, it's our own dreams. And when we come together, it's like all of them merging or something. Like all of this is such on a cosmic, spiritual level, kind of. Like, and I think part of the problem is that we keep wanting to try and make it fit in a physical world, but it isn't anything about that because the physical concept of a world isn't even real. It is all an illusion. You know, it's just like the same as if you were dreaming and you thought you were in a physical reality. It's just a dream. It seems real. I mean, somebody can hurt you in a dream and it hurts, right? So it's all in how we see it. This is just a sophisticated hologram experience. And it is all on this spiritual level that we just don't have a deep understanding of. And, you know, you try and make sense of stuff and it just doesn't make sense. And I have, you know, so I just did like 12 little short videos on TikTok. I was like, I don't know. It was when I was going to bed last night. They were telling me something, and I was like, "Oh man, do not want to get up and say that. You want me to talk about that tomorrow? Tell me in the morning." So I, I pushed past my MK Ultra. I was like, "No, I'm not going to go out there and say that. I'm going to bed now." And so then in the morning, they did. It was still just sitting there. And so I did 12 videos this morning. And there is people that are so fucking hateful, so full of hate, and just want people dead and stuff. It's like, it's so weird that, like, do they not have any concept of the out of balance that they are? Like, it's like you're in the quarter of the population and you're screaming at 3/4 of the population that you want them dead. Like, who needs to change? Like, it's bizarre. And some of these people that I see are so hateful. Oh my God. Just, people just die. People can just be killed and murdered. That's okay. You know, if you go out and you have a flag t-shirt on and someone murders you, then that's completely acceptable. If somebody goes out and murders somebody with rainbow hair, then that's a hate crime, right? It's weird. It's like they don't have the same rules for everybody. They just, it is so much the same mind game that happened during World War II. And you want to know something also, stranger? There's this girl, and she's doing all of this research into all of this information about World War II from every different country. Every single different country has a different story. She said it's bizarre. So she's putting them all together. But, that's what I found when I went over to Spain and we went on one of those tours to find out Christopher Columbus had never even been to America. And it is like the foundation of our story that we're told. Like, it's so weird. Did they think like that we were never going to come in contact with these other people, that they could just literally tell us, everybody, their own little story, and we would never talk to anybody else. I mean, I guess, back in the day, because see, they thought like the internet was going to be so helpful for them, but it's backfired, because we have been able to gain knowledge and information from people that aren't anywhere near us. And that's part of the hand of God, of the collective of this experience, to come together and share stories and understand that we're being tricked and lied to. And then you got to go deeper into the questions. Why? Who? What's going on here? Why would they do that? And, the deeper you go, the more you find out. Just the problem is so many people just start and then they get stuck. They just keep going down the same rabbit hole. I saw this, the stuff with, the Trump, MAGA, whatever you want to call this stuff. The people just go round and round and round, and they just, I don't even know, I swear you could just talk so much about this, because it's all such bullshit that they just, they just believe whatever, that they think, obviously they don't want me to talk about that, because I'm just keep hitting a wall. So I'm not talking about that. There was something else I was going to talk about. But one thing is that there's this girl that I follow, and I like her. And there's a lot of people doing this. She keeps doing this. And my question is, why? What is it people are trying to get? So there's another girl who I follow all the time, and I like her, and she's always, she shares a lot of stuff about the government, the truth. And so you would consider her to be awake. She's paying attention. She understands. And this is the thing that I'm trying to get people to understand about this awakeness and this getting stuck. So she's awake, and she is, constantly sharing information, trying to get other people to realize. And so yesterday she shared, it was a bunch of videos. But so she has the phone like in her lap. Her husband is ranting and raving. And this is, I'm telling you, I've seen so many of these videos now. Her husband is going around the house, ranting and raving, screaming, just ridiculing her, putting her down, just telling her opinion doesn't matter, and just ridiculing her beliefs, and just super toxic relationship. It's so toxic. I just scroll past, I don't need this toxicity in my life. Why are you putting this out there? What is it? Are you looking for people to give you empathy, sympathy? Are you trying to let people know how trapped you feel? Are you trying to throw him under the bus as being a total asshole? This is the thing that people need to really understand their own intentions when you're doing this. And you should be more aware and more honest about what it is you're looking for. But it's like these strange kind of games or something. And I just don't get that, and when you're thinking about this awakening, see how you get stuck? This is about empowerment. And you're just sitting here going around in circles, how screwed we're getting. And then you're just, willing to accept all of this abuse and not find your own strength to pull free, and then trust on the universal, consciousness, the universal energy to propel you into what is best for you. What is your best timeline? What is the best way you could live? And so there's all this part. So see, this is what I'm talking about with this awakening, how people get stuck and they don't go into other levels. And then it's so exposed. You're totally showing that you just look at yourself as a victim. I'm just a victim. I'm just a victim to the world. I'm a victim to my circumstance. I'm a victim just nonstop. Well, how do you change that? How do you stop being a victim? Do you just run around saying, I'm a victim, and it changes? Or do you have to take steps? What is it that's going to make you feel less victimized? How do you empower yourself? And then you start taking steps towards that. And there is a universal energy that wants you to have what you want. And it will give you the strength to power through. And there's going to be lessons. It's not like everything is easy. There's lessons. When you want something more for yourself, there will be lessons on your pathway. It's not just like, some simple thing, but sitting day after day after day, taking someone's abuse like that, and then just, documenting it so everybody knows about it. Like, how is that helping you? How is that changing your life? There's so much that people just don't, there's so much that people just want to be the victim. They just want people to feel sorry for them. And where does it get you? If everybody is sitting there feeling sorry for you, is it going to make your day easier? Like if you're being abused by somebody and you get up and you go, well, I know everybody feels sorry for me, and you can go on social media and see like, oh yeah, I got a lot of sad faces, a lot of prayer hands and stuff like that. It's like, did that fix anything? Did it help you? I mean, maybe that's all some people have, is just those little crumbs, and they hold on to that. Maybe that is what's going to build them the strength to be able to walk away. But everything, like that hashtag walk away, it was meant for politics. It was like a thing a couple years ago when they were trying to get people to understand not to vote for Joe, to walk away from the agenda, the liberal agenda, because it was toxic. It was out to defeat us. They market themselves as a progressive, accepting people, but they're the exact opposite of that, because we're in the upside down. They're the most tyrannical, the most controlling, the most manipulative. So, but you have to see through that. You have to want more. But that whole little hashtag walk away, and it's kind of like everybody should be doing that in life. What is not for you, makes you feel bad. If you continue to stay in something that makes you feel bad, that is you doing that. You are making those choices because you're not trusting, to the opportunity to walk away from it, to move out from the situation. And I'm not saying every single person, like, you need to run from everything. But there's certain situations that are put into your life, especially right now, so that you do get that drive, that ability, that kind of, it is like a drive. I keep hearing gumption in my head, but to give you that, to want more for yourself, to take the steps, put into action what you want, what you desire. And sitting there and just letting someone stomp all over you or beat you up or just emotionally drain you isn't going to put you into the timeline that you want, where you feel good. Most people want to have a timeline that they feel good, that things feel like they're in sync and life is working for them instead of working against them. But that's an energy. It's like an interstate. Like if you're thinking about all of the different freeway systems and how they have those interchanges. So you're always on these interchanges and you choose the freeway that you are going on. So you choose the direction that you're going. And you have to go, oh, I don't like this. What do I do? How can I make this different? And you got to change it. And I know that's difficult because there's so much time that I sit here just going like, man, I would like to be out of this reality, be out of this one that is here. I love this house and I love I love my time here. I love my time with Stella. And, but it's like something else. It's like there's another thing calling at me and pulling me towards it. And here, as I'm like separating from this reality, this, and I just see so much death around me and it's painful. My trees are just dying. The amount of pine needles just flying out of the sky all the time, and it's just it's hard to watch. One cool thing though is so I have all my garden outside, my raised planters, and I've just had horrible luck. Even I've all my potatoes, they still haven't flowered. And now the vines are dying and stuff. So, I don't think that the potatoes have grown up. The one that I had gotten out was like this big. It was so tiny. It was kind of greenish, so I put it out. But anyways, in my raised gardens out there, the soil, I keep thinking that the soil is really crappy. So I've been taking, especially because at the food bank, and I got so many vegetables. So all of the different stuff, I have been taking it outside and composting. So I've just been I saw some gardeners saying just put it directly in the soil. So I've just been putting so much in the soil. So I've just got all this, like, it looks like rotten food sitting on the soil out of my gardens out by the road. And I'm sure that there's somebody who would be like, oh my God, I can't believe she's doing that. But to me, I'm feeding the soil because I want the soil to feed back to me. So I am, and I don't care what other people think. And the cool thing is yesterday when I went to go take more stuff out, because anything, like if I crack some eggs, I'll take the shells out. I got these 3 avocados that will not soften. They are so hot. I don't know what they are doing to our food. I mean, there's something funky going on with our food, that they're going beyond what it has been. Like, we've been eating all these chemicals and toxins and bugs and baby body parts and all this bullshit. But there's something more. And, I mean, like right now in Australia, they have it in the legislature now that they are going to rain toxins down on people, spraying them or something. There's a whole thing about it. And, they're just fumigating us like bugs. And so anyways, I've got too many things going now, so let me go back to the food thing. So I went and I took the food out to the garden, and I've been putting it out there on there. So yesterday when I took some out, I saw there's just bugs everywhere, all over it. There's climbing bugs, but there's a lot of flying bugs. There's flies, there's bees. I put out, because when I did my kombucha the other day, my SCOBY had become so huge. It was like taking up the whole thing. It was giant. I knew I had, and it's always, to me, every time that it gets really huge, I feel bad because I know it's alive, because all that time ago when I had that whole conversation with it, and it is alive. It is growing all the time. It's alive. Something that's growing is alive. And it has to have energy. It has to have, whether how conscious it is, it still has energy. And so I took a bunch of the scobies out, and there was one that was sitting on top of the dirt, and there was wasp just sitting there, just going to town on it. It was really digging it. I would assume that it wouldn't kill it or something. Like, I think that, I think that some things know if something's gonna hurt it and wouldn't go eat it. So, but anyways, it was really digging it. I had butterflies on them. I had all sorts of bugs, and that is what gets the dirt better too. The rotting food makes the dirt better, and then all of the insects and stuff, it brings life back to the soil. So hopefully next year, if I'm still here, if my house is still here, like right now they are evacuating Big Bear, I guess, and they have a giant fire going. There's I think they've tried to start some fires over around here. There was a fire in Ferndale yesterday. It was just all smoky, and then all of a sudden the smoke was just cleared. It's like, I feel like they have a smoke machine. They're just blowing it down on us, and they're trying to start fires all around us. And when I go out there and I look across the street and look up, even when I was over at the food bank and looking at the other side of the hill, there's so much dead trees. There's so much dead trees. And so are they just up there monitoring? Okay, now we got like half the trees are dead. Let's do it now, because we'll just wipe them out real quick. Like, I don't know. And there's another thing too. some of the people I see talking about things, they don't have any awareness. Like they're talking about things from the perspective of climate change, that they don't understand that how much manipulation of the weather is going on. So they just are, they have a different attitude about it. And I think that they get kind of more scared about it. Like I feel like I just know that it's being manipulated. I know that this is all being done to us, and I find it really frustrating. And it's frustrating when people don't get it and don't listen, and it's just whatever. So, but there's something going on. So usually we have, I got to think of how this guy was saying it. It is like the current. It's like the current in the water. These are words we would have heard before, but I can't think of the word that he was saying. But it's like the current that moves stuff around, and so it moves storms like around. So he was showing that there is no movement. There's nothing moving. He was like, this is super serious, that this stuff is not moving around. And he was showing all of these pockets where there is being struck by really cold weather. So they're, like I said, they are trying to mix these two systems together, and it's their interference, I think, that is causing the chaos if it's really interfering with the current. And I don't remember how he was explaining it, but he was talking about this is super, super serious. And, I mean, they're doing this. They are trying to promote these systems and these storms and these natural disasters by, making it super, super hot and then bringing in all this cold, making it super cold and then heating it up. They're just doing this. They're creating this chaos so that they make these weather, it's just the creation of natural disasters, unnatural disasters. So anyways, there was some more stuff I wanted to say. I feel out of it. Like I feel really, really out of it. So, but I wanted to talk about the stuff from that movie yesterday too, but I'm going to do it in two separate ones, to try and make some shorter videos. So, because I know sometimes it can probably be irritating for me to just go and talk about several different things. But that's how my mind works, is like all these different things just coming in, and I have to try and grab it and see it and talk about it. And then sometimes the information just blanks out. And I cannot stand to see the school bus. I swear to God, that really triggers me. Like, to know what the schools and stuff are doing to the kids, and that there's all these people who keep sending them, and how many times the school bus goes by, it's just like the government going by. You load up your children, bring out your children, give them to us. I just saw this. This is sad, man. This was a long video. Well, I saw a couple that were super sad this morning. There was one, some woman who, I guess she doesn't normally come on and talk, but she was begging for help. Her sister went missing Monday night, and she's got 2 kids, a husband. She supposedly left the house at 8 o'clock at night and has never been back. And so her family is panicking, and the police and the news and stuff, of course, aren't helping. And they're asking for people to help. But, they were crying and stuff, and it was just sad. Like, and there's so many, like, I see video after video of women being, I mean, right now, I think women seem to be super fragile. Like, every time a man comes towards them, it's almost like they run screaming, like, he's gonna kill me, help. It's like, it's way over the top at this point. So women are on edge, but there is some shit going down. Like, right after I said the one about the lady at the Walmart, I saw the other lady pop up the next day. And so she said what she was a black girl, a young black girl who just looked regular. She didn't have like any crazy nails, crazy hair, crazy outfit, nothing. She just looked like a regular girl. And she said that the person who came up to her looked just like her. She said she looked just like me. There's nothing stood out. She looked just like me. And she was with the guy. And she came up to her and said, hey, this is our perfume, smell our perfume, you know, whatever it was. And she sticks it up in the girl's nose, and immediately the girl started becoming dizzy and started to fall. And I can't remember the whole story. She got away, you know, she didn't ever leave the store with them or something. I don't remember how it all went down, but that was real. So you got to really watch out about these people trying to get you to smell stuff, because that's the thing. There was a woman who, and she was getting footage of the guy. She was at the zoo with her 2 kids, and the only reason she even went out to take them was because it was one of them's birthday, and she was trying to go do something fun with them. So she took him to the zoo, and then this man who looked, he was dark, and I wouldn't say he wasn't a black guy. She was a black girl, and she had 2 little kids, and he looked more Mexican or Middle Eastern or something, you know. And that's the thing, is they've got the terrorists and the cartel soldiers are here, and they are actively kidnapping. So and I'm telling you, there's so many of these videos of these things happening to these women, these different women. And so she was getting videos saying, this guy has been following me for hours. He will not stop following me. Everywhere she go, he would follow. And she got security, and I mean, she was just like bawling. She was she was scared. She didn't know what to do. And this is what it keeps being like. Everybody, like, is she just being paranoid? It didn't seem like it. It seemed like he was really waiting for an opportunity, maybe to grab one of her kids. And, you know, he's just following as soon as she's not looking, grab one and take off, because that's the commodity. And CPS is actively, our government officials are actively taking people's children. This video was a woman, and I have no idea why they took her kids. Like, I didn't go into detail about that, but she's been fighting the government for 3 years, and she's talking Texas, Terrell County. Yeah, I'm sure she said Terrell County. And she, they busted into her house one night, took her kids, busted into her house in the middle of the night. Like, they fucking go over our rights all the time. They really think we don't have rights. And as long as we play the part, as long as we just accept it. Okay, I gotta take this out. This is bugging me. As long as we just accept it, then, you know, okay, we don't have rights. So they go in, they steal her kids. She starts trying to fight him. She's been fighting him for 3 years. She's gone up to, they're making a documentary with her, some news channel there, trying to expose this information. She's gone to, is it called the AGI, the Attorney General of Texas? I don't even know if she's gone to the FBI. She's gone to everybody. And just like I said in that movie I watched the other day, they have it set up so they cover themselves. She hasn't seen her kids in 3 years. She has no idea where they are. Her kids haven't seen her. They have no idea. They're taken out of their beds in the middle of the night. She doesn't even know if they're alive. It's and this is what the government can do, and they think they can do it to people who are poor, minorities, and they're just, you know, they've done this stuff for so long, and it wasn't affecting so many of us. We didn't pay any attention. We didn't know. Now it's right out there, and it's happening to more and more people. And it's not just the poor. It's not just more darker colored people. It's all people this is happening to. And it is, I've seen a lot of women on the social media talking about how CPS came in and stole their kids. So, you know, this is our system, and it's sick. And we have to wake up to it, because it's us wanting more for ourselves is the change. As soon as we all come together and we get on the same table, at least a certain percentage of us. I mean, there's some of these people that are just so trapped in hate, and they're going to hold themselves back to this energy, this vibration. So they may not be on planet Earth. They'll just go somewhere else because they got to go learn how to release this hatefulness that they carry, that they just put out on other people. Like, to want someone dead because they have different beliefs than you, that's coming from inside of you. If you need other people to be just like you for you to be happy, that's inside of you. You have to figure that out. Why can't you accept others? Why can't you allow others to be free and make their own decisions? And, you know, and especially when it gets to this whole thing of wanting people dead, just wanting them to be dead. And because they're such a burden to you because they disagree with you. It's like, that's totally inside of you. And that's, you can't face it here in life. You can face it in your review. I mean, that's what it's for. You can go into your life review and then what are you going to do about it? There's nothing you can do. You got to set up another incarnation to come in and try and clean up the mess and clean up the hate, put it back in balance. And when you get out of this life, this is what so many people get so caught up in this experience, and they take it so literal and so serious. And then they cross over and then they go to their review and they see their own behavior. And then what do you do to change it? Well, you've already left the experience. And I've talked about this so many times, but I mean, really, that is the drive. That is why, you're always coming back, because you get up there and you see like, oh my God, I can't believe I did that. Especially when you realize like when you go in and you are playing a game with somebody like Life or something, like Life and Monopoly. Like, we've all over time have played Life or Monopoly with somebody who took the game real serious, like a little too serious, and lose their goddamn minds over it. Well, that's the same thing. When you get up to your life review, that you look at it and you're like, oh my God, I acted like that. Oh my God, I behaved like that. I treated people like that. How do you fix it? Once it's done, how do you fix it? And that is what, a lot of people are going to have to realize. Like, it would just change people's understanding of their own behavior if they really did look at it different. Like, it even puts people off. And this whole thing about there's a guy up in the sky waiting to judge you, that puts people off. You are your own judge. It's not somebody up there who's going to come and judge you. It's you. You got to think of this like you're here having this life experience and you're making decisions for yourself and you're doing all this stuff. And then you transition, you pass over, you go over, and you're sitting there with your higher self. Maybe some guides. Depends on your mission, depends on your depends on your contracts, all of it. So you're sitting there with your higher self, looking at your own behavior. You are your own judge. You are the one who's disappointed with yourself and your own behavior. And that is the whole thing, is why people have such a hard time even facing themselves. You don't get away with not facing yourself. How in the world can anybody ever be held responsible or create change if they never have to face themselves? You have to face yourself. That is the whole evolution of self, is to face yourself. So there is no getting away from it. And there is nobody who's going to be just sitting there judging you and deciding if you're going to hell. We are in hell. We are in a place that is already what you fear. And this is your opportunity to ascend out of this place. You have both inside of you. You have good and evil, dark and light. You have to decide which one you give energy to. And when you're not in the experience, because some people get in the experience, they get all wrapped up in it and they just become, hateful, vile creatures who just want to harm others, who want to take advantage of people. But when you pass over, you really have to face that side of yourself. And right now, we get this opportunity on this planet for this ascension to face ourselves so that we can heal ourselves. So it isn't that we have to go to our review and then we're kind of like, well, now what do we do? Well, I guess let's plan another one, which, that's what you want to do anyways. You're going to be planning another one anyways. But do you want to plan one that is going in to clean up your mess that you made the last time? Maybe you have to do like 5 or 6. And they wouldn't be easy lives. When you're going in to try and clean up the messes that you created, the imbalances that you created, those aren't easy lives. You don't just come in and go on vacation and find love and happiness. You have to go through and do some work. And so anyways, it's all inside each person. And each person has their own textbook to guide them. And you got to go inside and, listen to your own textbook. Don't just do what somebody else tells you to do. And, all I can tell you is it is an important thing to be able to look at yourself, look at your life choices, your experiences and everything, and look at it from all angles. Don't just get caught up in the emotional hatred and being upset and victimized. Don't get stuck there. Just like I've said all along, people awaken to this one part and they get stuck and they don't know what to do after that. Don't get stuck. Look at things deeper. If you want to heal, this is your chance. And if you don't want to heal, then deal with it in the afterlife. I don't know what to tell you. So anyways, I'm going to talk about something else. I'll be right back.